like Taddy is your leader coming out of turn 3, I believe, down the back. The number 9 is Sharp. Is in that second place with the number 6 of Mike G. With Big Jim and Long Live the Saucy, your top 5 with the number 6 car, or 6th place car, number 2 of Calvin from Swan Motorsports.
Almost in.
Riding around here with the number 20 of Drunk Fest, looks like getting about mid-pack, running there with Chase B at number 14 and number 47 of Robbie Racing, I believe.
All right, I am in. I am on the pole sitter. It's Mike G, number 6. Butters, I'll try to help you keep up with where I'm at with the camera. I'll keep it on here for a little bit, though. I know we got Sharp in the lead. That's the number 9.
Somebody spit it in the back. Sure, someone hit the wall.
Oh, yep, that
number
was...
Number 21 of Pete Cola.
Oh, poor guy, again.
I don't know
Gator Mike's out of the race, huh? We didn't know that.
Yep, I did mention that when you were working on your...
So I'm sorry, Sharp is now in the 9. Sorry, he got traded. He's in the 9.
Yep.
The number 6 is Mike G. And our leader is the number 1, and that is Aqua Taddy in the number 1. Switches up from the 37. We were under yellow. Something happened there in the back.
Must have been, yeah, like I was mentioning a little bit before break. There's some musical seats went on this week, so...
Bass fishing is back there.
There's quite a few drivers that we are not accustomed have different rides this week, so yeah, it's going to be a learning curve, but not so much a learning curve, just used to who got moved where. But yeah, like I said, the number 1, Aqua Taddy, he goes from that 37 car to the number 1, and the number 6 of Mike G went from. Like I said, I'm not too sure. Awesome drove that. Our first ride in that Integrity number 6 Ford now is their 2nd place car.
Gotcha. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up on some things on my end over here as we get going. Out front, looks like it'll still be Aqua Taddy. I think somebody lagged out, by the way, because he was up there by himself. That was kind of odd. It just looked weird the way he started up there. This is a weird room. I think there's some weird stuff going on. I don't know, it was a full moon. But Aqua Taddy is your leader here at Kansas in the Cobra Kai Racing Series, E-Racing Series. Mike G is in the number 6. He's the pole sitter in 3rd. And Sharp, he's driving the number the number 9 car this week for the first time. And that's your top 3. Big Jim is in the 51. He's in 4th position. And Long Live the Sauce is going to round out your top 5. But just behind him is the 22. That is S. Bass. And the 24 of Travesty's son, the leader of that Hendrick stable, Tennessee Whiskey, as they're known.
All right. Yeah, just a little backstory at number 9. The Sharp is we've known all year that with his schedule and stuff, I don't believe he's going to be able to come back next season in Cobra as of right now. So it was kind of a weird deal with him this week. He got traded back to Tennessee Whiskey so he could drive that 9. Sharp is a big fan of the number 9 car in real life for NASCAR, and the 2 captains got together, and it was kind of like a guy retiring in the NFL, and he signs like a one-day contract so he can retire with the team that he wanted. But it's kind of an interesting little fact that since Sharp, I believe, is not going to make the playoffs, he's just getting his last few rides in that number 9 car before the end of the season.
It's so we are Kansas. It's the Kyle Larson track. Wholeheartedly, it is up against the wall pretty much the whole way around. I think, other than the front straightaway where you kind of dip down through the tri-oval. Aqua Taddy, he's leading the train here up against the wall. Those safer barriers protecting these guys, and you got Sharp just behind him, still in the number 9. It's kind of single file racing. We're gonna try and go through the field a little bit. I'm on Mike Marini in the 18. He is currently in, I want to say 10th. Let's take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That was a good guess. 10th place in that Skittles Toyota. He looks like he's the 2nd Toyota in line as his teammate, the number 11, is up ahead of him. That is Higgy. What going on him? RJ Smitty is driving the number 47 as he was traded from what we call Chase's team, the Stuart Haas stable. He's now driving for Aqua Taddy, and he's driving the Hungry. Went from Dead Man over here to Aqua Taddy's team, driving the Hungry Man Chevy. I like those cars. The 37 and the 47 always have good schemes. There you see a big swing and a hit. Is it going to be a miss, though? Long Live the Sauce tried to get ahead of 2 guys. Now he's going to lose 4 positions. As he got the swing in front, but then 5 guys now go by the 19 cars. We were right along on the 47 that whole time. You're on Bringerhoff's channel. I'm Bringerhoff17. I'm here with Butters. Old man Butters, as he likes to be called now. You're not that old, though. But you're older than me, so I'll call you old man.
Yeah. I may not be the oldest around in this community or racing gig, but I'm one of the senior players.
We took a quick shot. P. Gator was on pit road. Looks like he's retired out of this race today. Big Jim here riding along to the top 5 in the rowdy number 51 Toyota. He's right on the top 5. That's the 22 of Draven just ahead of him. Here we are, loosey-goosey, riding on the number 48 car, trying to let Butters keep up as he's broadcasting on the Cobra Kai channel. You can check us out on either YouTube channel this evening. Supposed to be GC, but we had some terrible technical difficulties. But, not as bad as they could have been. Here we are, still broadcasting, still able to have some fun. We're in stage number 2 of this Kansas Cup event. Sharp riding real good right here behind the number 1 car. We're going to go right on board with the number 9 as he gets to the bumper of Aquatati and that Monster Energy number 1 Chevy. Not trying to make a pass. He's just going to stay right there behind him. Lets off the gas in turn number 1. Gives him a little space. We're going to suck right on up to the rear of the number 1 coming out of turn number 2 as we ride along on board. Real actionable stuff. But behind him, just behind him, let's get on Long Live the Sauce. This guy likes to make moves. This is a racer. All right, you got to give Long Live the Sauce a lot of credit where credit is due. The guy wants to make passes. He doesn't want to sit in a line. He's always good for a little bit of action. Might compare him to like a Clint Boyer type, if you will. You tell me, Butters.
Yeah, Long Live the Sauce. He's a young guy, spry guy. He loves the race.
Really does.
Anytime there's a discussion, the first thing he wants to do is, hey, let's race it out. I mean, we could talk about that.
We can talk all day, but we can prove it on the track.
He's all about guy like, let's prove it on the track. So, he's Sauce is a great dude. I mean, he does a lot of work for Ford and his league. But yeah, he's one of those guys. He's not content with just riding in a straight line. If he's going to get himself one spot, he's going to work for it. If you get it.
He's also been very loyal to this patriotic scheme from Martin Truex Jr., the number 19. Always riding that patriotic scheme, I've noticed. Good for him, though. America. Let's go back through the field a little bit. Drunkfest 17 is now driving the number 20. I think this is the first time he was driving the 42. Am I wrong? A week ago?
I'm not sure.
No, I think he was here. I'm wrong. No, he was here the whole time.
He's been with Sauce's team, I think, since he's been driving. Yeah,
There's been so many moves. There's been so many moves that I'm now thinking other guys moved that didn't.
Right.
But he's just the tail end of this lead group. You see the 22 of Draven now making a move on Big Jim, but he loses all of that momentum. As soon as he went down, the entire draft, he has no more speed behind him. There's no more push. But now he looked like he had a little bit of help, but then that went away real fast. Long Live the Sauce is going to follow his teammate Higgy. Big Jim is like a quasi teammate. He's not officially on the team, but I mean, hey, it's a Toyota. Drunkfest 17 is on that team as well, and he's going to pull in. That was just honestly not a great move from Draven. He went from possibly 3rd, 4th to now the end of this line in 7th. He actually was able to stay in front of Drunkfest. And will he make a move on the 19? He's going to have to gather himself up a little bit more. If they're not too careful, the 22 and the 20 could lose this lead draft. And that's kind of what's happened to everyone who has lost the lead draft. They get in a little battle, and then they lose that time. You see right there is Mike Marini going low. We'll try and get back on that battle. Is the 48, is he going to pit? He seemed like he lost it perhaps in turn 2. The cars have been set up. This is stage number 2, so they have gotten their setups in, but maybe he's getting a little loose. He's kind of losing a lot of ground since turn 2. Wasn't pitting, obviously, but even RJ Smitty got around the 18 car here. We'll take a look at him as he gets down to the turn number 1. Is he going to hold it on the high line? He sure does. He's going to be able to draft back up to the 47. Coming out of turn 2, he looks pretty stable this time around. There's the 47. He might be pitting. We might be coming up on green flag stops here, Butters.
Yeah, it looks like the 47 did signal on the backstretch there to pit, so we'll get to him and see if he does actually come down.
There he does.
Yes, he does. So there's a start of a green flag pit stops here, guys, in the stage 2. So it's gonna be interesting with RJ Smith, the first one to hit pit road, and we'll see. We should start seeing more groups coming in here in the next few laps.
We were on board with the 18 car, but now we're on board with the 20. As he was trying to make a move, if you saw up ahead on the screen when we were with the 18, he was trying to make a move on the 22, but then he didn't quite get there through the turn. And then look, the 19, the 6, are they pitting? What was that? Was a big move down low. Doesn't look like he pit. Oh, we had the lag though, and now the 20 is around, and the 6, right as we were changing cameras. Drunkfest and the 6, everyone's involved now. So everybody who pit early, that's tough luck for them.
Oh, that's bringing out a yellow.
How many of them went a lap down? We don't know. I'm going to try. I haven't got the stream up, the other streams for reference yet. So let me do that for you while we have a caution flag. We were on our leader, Aquatati, but we know we're going to switch to the pole sitter. That was the 6 car, so take a look out for that. Okay, we are going to join Aquatati's stream actually, since he's the leader. Big Jim is in second now. Sharp's in third. Higgy Wicks in fourth. And Draven's in fifth after all that commotion coming to the yellow flag. Long Live the Sauce is in sixth. And Kelvin's in seventh. But all that's going to change. A little bit that's going to change as they take pits. I wanted to see who went a lap down. I'm trying to see, but he's on his own stats, which is the leaderboard. So I can't see who's in the back of the leaderboard. But Mike Marini does round out your top 10 as you see the field. The field is a lot shorter than it was a little bit ago. I have a feeling we had a massive lag out here of at least a few cars. We'll go through it here, but it's going to be too exciting to go down pit road. We're going to go on Mike G. He's got a good sense of the middle of the field. Your leader looks like it's Big Jim now as Aquatati wants to take a look down low. Someone in the wall, that's the 24 car, Travesty. He's going to get all these cars below him. The 14 to Chase Beatty, who made the race, super excited to be here. He's making a move to come up into the top 10 as the top 4 are now in single file, but that orange car, that number, what is that, the number 17?
That orange car is number 2 with Kelvin.
Oh, not used to seeing the 2 in an orange. Yeah, here he is up in the near the top 5. So I mean, we just cycled through. You might have noticed a bunch of cars that are down low in pit lane. We'll go through them a little while when we spread out. Let's try and get on the outside camera. Oh, the 2 does get above the 18, and 18 maybe didn't know he was there. Maybe he just got a little loose, but he kind of put him up in the wall. And that's going to let those top 4 kind of pull away a little bit more. Let's see if they can gather him back up. Long live the sauce. Holding down low as let loose. Loosey Goosey right above him in the number 48, trying to make a move with help from the number 6 of Mike G. Just behind him, we are still on the number 2 car with our camera shot. And as we zoom out, we'll see a move. You'll see the number 1 Aquatati did get back up into the lead past the 51. He had a little bit of help, but a little bit of a boost into turn number 1 when he made that move, and he was able to make it stick through turn number 2. We are side by side here from about 4th, 5th, or back. As Kelvin's going to take the draft off of Draven and get past the number 11 of Higgy Wicks. Here we are on board with Higgy Wicks. Looking back from him as Long Live the Sauce gets put in the wall by his teammate. The 18 and 19 got a little too close for comfort. And Loosey Goosey's going to try and make a move down low, but he has no grip down there. He's going to move back up behind Let Loose. I'm sorry, right behind Long Live the Sauce. But now we get in line because we're afraid to lose the draft. We've already lost enough momentum. Let's get back in line. There's a blue car, blue and white car. Looks like he got out of line. But here we are with just the McDonald's car down low. Everyone else is in a train through turn 4.
Yeah, I'm just riding along here. I got on stream. I'm riding along with the number 18. So he's in that. He's the leader of that second group. That's just a hair behind that first group. So yeah, riding around with Marini.
Oh, the 22 got up into the wall.
Oh. Yeah, and he's going to lose a few spots there. It looks like the number 47 of RJ now is taken, filled in that spot there behind the number 18. Looks like
22 lost a lot. Yeah, so Mike G was trying to move up through the field, and then everyone got bottlenecked when the 22 hit the wall, and you know everybody kind of hit each other. A little bump into the rear. There's Long Live the Sauce making a move down low, trying to make a move coming out of the turn. He gets back up into the draft. But yeah, the 22, I don't know if he got pinched or if he just hit the wall, but it was abrupt, and a bunch of these guys from the 18 on back kind of got stuck maneuvering around him there, and hopefully the 18, if he can gather back up his teammate here, you're going to have a real long line as you see him get closer. The number 9 is trying to make a move. That's Sharp. Haven't said his name in a little bit because he's quietly been running in second or third spot, but here he's trying to make a move up front. Will he get the lead past the 1? He doesn't quite make it. That was pretty close, but now he loses a lot of grip, and that may cost him more than he was willing to pay, as the 51, the 2, and the 11 are going to get in the line. Oh, he taps the 11.
Yeah, okay.
You got to be careful on the entries of these turns at Kansas, because as you let go of the accelerator, the car will jolt to the right, and that's exactly what you saw there with the number 9 of Sharp as he put the 11 into the wall.
You get a car through the grass again.
Oh, was going to rear. Looks like the 19 is in the pit lane wall, right off the edge of pit lane there. I don't know if we're going to get a caution for that, although they look like they might be slowing down. Nope. But the 18, he takes it off of the fender, and now we were right on the 18 as that happened, as you're watching on my YouTube channel. He's a single car wreck, and he is not going to bring out a yellow flag here as well. So 2 of the Gibbs cars, 2 of the Long Live the Sauce cars, Long Live the Sauce being one of them actually, end up spinning here. Oh, there's a shot of Picola Gator down the pit lane. So Big Jim, he's still up here in the top 3. Draven, he, after that contact with the wall, is still hanging on to the rear of this lead draft. That is Lucy Goosey just ahead of him. And now that 11 car, Higgy Wicks, he had 2 teammates right along just behind him. They're both gone. But Draven, if he can get up there, he has his teammate in Kelvin, who's currently in second position in that number 2 car.
He has moved his way into that second spot, so he looks like he's can be faster here in the number 1 car, but he just can't get, like I said, it's tough to pass. He just can't find a spot there where he can get a decent enough run to get by Taddy in that 1 car. As he makes another move to the inside as they go into the turn and see if he can.
If he has help, if the 51 decides to go with him and give him a little boost down the straightaway, he may end up doing it. Oh, but the 9 gets tapped as he tried to get above the 47, but the 47 is now going to get behind his teammate. He'll be 2 by 2, 1 through 4th. Right here, P1 through P4. Now they're almost 4 wide. The 47 does stick behind the 1. The 51 now sticks behind the 2. We are on board with Draven as we're watching this. Everybody else watching out there on Butter's Cobra Kai channel. The number 2 is going to stick to that lead, and the 22 gets in the wall. I don't know if the 11 tries to get underneath him, but he gives him a little tap as well. But the 2 still underneath the 1. Aqua Taddy is fighting back on the outside. I want to switch cameras, but I don't want to lose this battle. The 2 gets in front of him again. Will Aquatati make a move down low? We had the 51 kind of in the way. And who was that? Lucy Goosey got real Lucy entering turn 1, and he's going to lose some spots here as well. Higgy Wicks now down low in the 22. I
got camera angle on Taddy, so I'm right in the middle of this battle here. So
I'm now on the leader.
Okay. I just let you know that's whose car I'm riding around.
Yeah, we're kind of in the same spot. That's good.
So what you're calling is there, folks can see what you're calling. The Taddy looks like he's fell back a little bit.
Well, right there, yeah, the 51 and the 1, they were making a move on each other, and Taddy ended up getting no help. It was all by himself, and now he is at the end of this real quick. It's not easy to pass, but it's real easy to lose positions.
Oh, he goes down underneath now. He's looking to make a move underneath.
He's not going to find a hole, however.
Get that run underneath on the lower lane in Kansas.
We're now
on. Like you said, you get some help.
We got our camera shot on the number 1 car now as he's trying. We see we can move his way back up through the field. We'll go on board a little bit. Actually, everybody want to raise your speakers. Butters, go grab a drink. We're going to take 1 or 2 laps here around Kansas Motor Speedway on board with the number 1. We will try not to scream if something exciting happens. But go ahead, turn the speaker up. Do it now as we come to the end of stage number 2. All right, we're coming back. And you saw a pretty good battle up here for the lead as Draven was battling for the lead. Now he's fallen back. Sharp and the 51 got together there off of turn number 2 at one point, but they've held it together for the most part. But the 51 gets into the rear again of the number 9. You don't want to get out of the line. Like, you may get a run on the guy in front of you, but you don't really want to get out of the line because you just see the 22 took his run. He went from 2nd to 5th.
Yeah, it's a tough call to make, Brick. You know, these guys, they get to run, they want to get up lead, maybe lead a lap or two, but like going back to Kansas, it's a tough track to make that.
Well, we were on Draven now.
As he help underneath, but
we were on Draven there as he took a hard line into turn number 1, trying to get underneath the 11 of Higgy Wicks. There was a little bit of contact, but both cars made it out pretty stable. The 22 couldn't get to the place he wanted to get to. With the 51, a Big Jim, he's going to make a move on the 2 car. Trying to get back on him. Of course, he's a long way away from where we started. There we go. Oh, he's battling the 9. This might have been for the win, actually, for the stage.
Oh.
Yes, it was. That was the last lap. I think it went to Big Jim.
Yeah, that was pretty much a hornet's nest there, that last turn there. Those guys all coming down for that checker flag for stage number 2.
So one thing about video game racing is it kind of allows you to do that kind of thing. In real life, you would just wreck your car and be out of the race.
Right.
So sure, yeah, Big Jim and Kelvin top 2. Sharp is number 3. End of stage number 2. So we have a long stage number 3 up ahead of us. About 53 laps to go when they come back to green. 52, 53 laps to go.
And we do the 8 guys are pretty much locked in for the playoffs starting next week. But you know what? Among those playoff guys, there's still a little bit of a battle here. These guys need to get stage points and stuff. That's why they're getting every point as possible.
You should.
That's why you get that big pack finishes at the end of stages.
So we have 18 cars in this field right here. The number 6 of Mike G, your pole sitter, is actually in the rear of the field to start stage number 3. Your leader's Big Jim. We'll try and get back up there with him on camera. There we are. Big Jim, number 51, is in front. Two side by side just behind him. That's Sharp and the number 9 just below the 2. They tapped the wall. That's the 47 of RJ Smitty, who, whatever happened to him, sent him down to the inside of the track. Big Jim will try to look back from his camera. Everybody else seems to be okay. I think that's RJ Smitty you see towards the rear, getting underneath the yellow car. Looks like the yellow car of, actually, I'm not going to guess who that is back there. But the 51, who takes a real low line, he may lose the high line here entering turn number 1 on the second lap here, stage number 3. But you may have heard Aquatati, if you were watching the Xfinity broadcast, he was talking about how early on you can use that bottom lane, but it didn't seem to do any favors for Big Jim. I don't know if he was just getting out of the way, but here he is on the only car on the lower line and losing that lead. Now he's back to 4th, possibly 5th, as Aquatati comes above him in the draft. And here comes Travis DeSum. Will he be able to make a move on the 51 car? He went in basically 1.5 laps. He went from the lead to 5th place. And here he is about to lose 5th place to Travis DeSum, who got a little tight off of turn 2, so that's going to help out Big Jim. Travis DeSum couldn't help it stick on the high side, and Chase Beatty's going to get underneath him entering turn number 3. Now they're a little bit side by side as you see the 42 just behind a Chase Beatty. I don't think we've talked about the 42 much today. That is wasted. Oh, and the 14 kind of comes down the lane a little bit, hits the 24. Travis was able to hold on to it, and he's 3 wide trying to hold on to it again. Did somebody spin behind there? Wasted on the 48 and the 24 now getting into each other.
They're 4 wide. They're 4 wide back there in that second pack.
Oh, yeah. They're crazy.
Boys.
There goes Drugfest in the 6. Oh, and he's around. This Mike G got spun around. He touched the apron. There's Marini getting past.
Bring the yellow out.
No, we got no real stoppage of play here. The 42 is all over the place in the back of his pack.
42 is banging.
He is through the grass, holding on to it. Oh, he's in pit lane.
Boys in the second pack here, they need to pump the brakes here a little bit. Let's get lined back up, boys.
Yeah, the 42, we were on board for that whole situation. We see him getting off the pit lane. Tough break for the 42, a wasted. But Robbie Racing's in the 37. He's trying to draft this rear of the field. He's able to survive that. The 19 to the 48 now side by side. Let loose, gets in the wall again.
These guys up front now are starting to cluster up. So look out, we're gonna get kind of same racing up front here. It's gonna get interesting.
Yeah, I see the 11 making a move on Aquatati.
those top 5 cars up there, they're getting dicey with each other. So, yeah, here we go, boys. The temperatures are getting hot in the car and in the driver's seat, so it's going to be interesting.
It's a good thing they raced it. Now, Alcantari's now making a move for the lead. He's going to be able to get there. Then he tried to get back up into the hole. The 51 was kind of in the way. He's not going to let him in, so the one may go from 2nd to 5th again. Let's see if he can stick it down low. They are going to hold up in line above him. He can't quite squeeze in between the 51 and the 22. He can't get in between the 22 and the 11. And Alcantari's going to probably fall in line here. Oh, he gets into the 11 entering turn number 3. And that's going to put the 11 suck him up into the wall. And now the 1 and the 11 are both going to lose ground to the top 3. But that's going to give Sharp some draft. And Chase Beatty, who's in the number 14 car just behind them, a personal favorite of mine, both Chase and the 14 car. He's kind of make a move to enter the top 5 here. We're on.
Yeah. Just a quick thing on Chase. He's one of the cars that did not make it in qualifying, but since we only had 17 cars, he was one of the last 3 to be called back into the race. So good kudos to Chase there. He's putting that dead man number 14 there, putting it up front there with those guys and making some noise.
Yeah, it looked like Travesty's son kind of gave a little payback from the lap before, and that kind of put Chase into the wall. And now Chase, he lost a lot of ground that time. Not quite as bad as when it happened to Travesty, but nonetheless, Travesty is near the top 5, and Chase is no longer. Let's try, Wasted is way back. He's way damaged.
Yeah, let's see what if Chase will gather it back up and get back up to the 24. Those two got a little bit of a history. Kind of rivals on the track. They get along well off the track during the week, but they've had issues in the past. We'll see how the number 14 handles this if he gets back to the 24.
Now we're on Mike Marini, who was able to catch up to some of these guys who had issues. Long live the Sauce, who also had an unfortunate incident, is now back in the pack. We saw him at the top 5 earlier in the broadcast. Long live the Sauce. He has a good exit off of turn number 2, but it looked like he had... I'm sorry, not Long Live. That's Loosey Goosey in the 48. He had a good exit off of turn 2, but he then had a very poor entry into turn number 3. But he may have been just trying to stay off of the rear of his teammate, the number 88. That's S. Bass. Am I correct? Up there in the 88?
Yes, that is Bass, yep.
So they're teammates. They're probably just trying to work together. All 4 of these guys should be trying to work together, 2 by 2, these teammates here. Just draft and catch up. You have 3 cars ahead of you. The 4 of you should be able to reel them in. Let's go on those 3 cars. Actually, they're just ahead of them. Well, actually, we saw a little battle. We saw the 22 trying to make a move for the lead. We're on the leaders. We're on Sharp, the number 9 Chevrolet. He's on that Tennessee Whiskey racing team owned by Travesty's son. And the 51, yeah, they have not given up. I kind of saw them up in the screen a little bit when we were back in the pack, but they have been side by side pretty often. They are all coming up on the 42 car, who is running heavily damaged, just praying for a caution flag so he can get back to the field with a 100% car. The number 22, he is not in the mood to follow. Go ahead.
Hey, I just got to say one thing, Mike. Gator Mike's got to be pretty pleased there. He's got 2 of his swamp cars that are battling up there in the top 3. You know, they were just running 1 and 2. But Kelvin and Draven, you know, they're representing well. You know, you get the number 12 and the number 21 are sitting on pit road. And we all know that those 2 guys are the heavy hitters on this team. But you look at this is how this works out. Next 2 guys up, look at them. They're up there battling.
They're practically working together. They got the 11 just between them right now. And they all got around Wasted in the 42 pretty good. Pretty quickly. Nobody really had to do anything. He was out of the way. Good job by the 42. And now, you know, the 22, a little bump to the 11 in the middle of the corner. Not into the corner. That was the middle of the corner. He was able to draft up and tap the 11. Now the 11 is pushing Kelvin down the front straightaway. This is the most I've ever seen the 2 car up front. Good for him. Good for Kelvin here at Kansas. He got a little tight exiting turn number 4, though, and his rear may have just scraped the wall. That's going to lose.
Might open the door there for the number 11 there to get a run on the
kick
side.
The door open. Oh, the 22 trying to make a move and hits his teammate.
So, yeah, as like I said, we're in Kansas here. It's the final race of the season. Before
regular season, yeah.
Of the regular season, yeah. Next week we are actually, before the playoffs start, we're going to have our All-Star weekend That's going to be interesting here. If I get a second here in between the action here, maybe I'll explain a little bit how that's going to go down. But yeah, this is the final race of the regular season for these guys. So in 2 weeks, the playoffs start in Martinsville. So it's going to be interesting. Like I said, next week's the All-Star event. It's going to be fun. Just going to get the guys, and we're going to have some good racing one night. We're going to go from there, but I'll touch base a little bit on that if we get a chance here in the race. But let's get back to the action here. We're right around the number 11 of Higgy is your race leader with number 22 at Draven, running tight second place.
Yeah, Draven, I don't know if he's blocking the 9 or trying to pass the 11, but he is always making moves. He is not just staying behind the 11, although he has to stay just behind the 11, because if he jumps out, I think maybe he's learned his lesson from stage number 1 and 2. Every time he did that, he went from 2nd to 5th. So right now, he's just got to be patient. Maybe the 11 will mess up like the 2 did. Kelvin, he was comfortable in the lead, and he just made one mistake. He tapped the wall out of turn 4, and you see he's at the tail end of this draft now. But at least he was able to hang on to the draft. So he is now one of the 6 cars most likely to win this race. The 51 taps the wall into turn 1. But if you're going to tap the wall, I suppose that might be the place to do it. But not doing it would be best.
So, Brick, did we say something like at the beginning of the stage here, we're looking at roughly 50-something laps left?
Yeah, I actually was just looking at the stream, trying to see where we're at now.
So these guys would have to technically make 2 stops, right? Are they only getting like 20
Xfinity, it was 20, I think. Pardon me. I think okay. Xfinity was 2021. I think this is about 23. I could be wrong.
So it's possibly you could, guys, this after that first round of pit stops, you could see some guys trying to make some bold moves and maybe start saving, stretch it out to the end.
Yeah, I just missed when he crossed the line, so I'll have to check again when they do it. Calvin's starting to lose his draft a little bit. Not sure if his tires are going away. Wasted has decided to hang it up. That car was just too much to handle. He went a lap down. There was no yellow flags coming out. Slayer is on pit road as well. He was a start and park candidate today. Robbie Racing is in the rear. But here's the 20 and the 14. That's Chase Beatty and Drunkfest 17. They're trying to catch back up to the field. Long live the Sauce and Derek Cope are battling. Derek Cope kind of taps the wall in turn number 1. He's not going to quite... He's going to stay side by side with the 19, but he's not going to clear him. And the 19 is going to have the high line, the preferred line, entering turn 3. But there goes the 34. I wonder if the 19 let him in. Trying to get a little draft.
Big wreck.
Oh, we got a big one in front straightaway. Aquatati might be involved. He's got heavy damage.
There's a... Yep. I'm really surprised if it don't.
Yeah, Sharp is... He has a little bit of damage on the right side of his car as well. And that number 9.
Holy, I can't believe there didn't a yellow did come on.
I can't believe we weren't on the camera. I'm sorry we were going through the field at that moment. I thought it was a good time to do that.
I was riding, I don't know exactly who I was riding on, but I seen Sharp's car up in the air there in the shot, so I knew there was multiple cars.
Well, we're on board with Kelvin. He looks like he's in... I can't tell if that's the 11 up front. Yeah, it must be the 11, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're 5th here. The 22 and real low out of turn number 2. I think that's Mike Marini in 4th. He hung on, and he's now ended up in 4th. And the 22 and I don't know who is that with him right now. They're just swapping positions back and forth. Oh no, that was the Long Live the Sauce and Braves. I was on the wrong set. So that wasn't 4th for the 18. I got to go back up to the front.
Yeah, I'm riding around with Higgy here. I believe in 2nd place. So we got the number 22 of Draven leading. Looks like a 3-car pack with the number 51 of Jim. So yeah, that put a big gap in there. That front pack is all disintegrated now. So, and I believe that's number 24 riding around in 4th, leading that 2nd pack with RJ Smitty.
Yeah, that is Travis's son and RJ Smitty running 4th and 5th behind these top 3 who are starting to suck back up to each other. I feel like I've said that a lot today. I don't like saying it, but I draft back up to each other. You know, sounds a little formal. I don't know. I'll try it. But the 22, he's leading this race right now with Higgy Wicks. That's Draven. Higgy Wicks in the 11 is in 2nd, and then Big Jim. He's been able to stay away from the little bit of drama that's occurred around him. Now the 11 He just got above the 22 down the straightaway and was able to make. That is exactly how you make a pass here at Kansas. You have got to, and this is what I was trying to do in the Xfinity races myself. You draft up to somebody and you try to get above them entering turn number 1, and then boom, you have the high line for the lap. So you saw that. It was a textbook pass by Higgy Wicks on the leader of Draven.
We got a car coming down pit road. Looks like number 88 of Bass is hitting pit road. So this could be the start, I would say, of some green flag pit stops. Unless Bass is just coming in early. I don't know what he's thinking. Strategy.
Well, we are 27 to go, so he could be thinking he's going the rest of the way from here.
Right. So just a quick thing I just want to throw out. You know, we're looking at it, like I said, last race of the season. So just a quick look at our playoff drivers so far as of before this race. Our point leader is Gator Mike at 89. Our second place guy is running a Big Jim, which is running. Is your race leader right now. The third place was Fire Slayer. He had to start in the park for a night. Our fourth was Pete Cola. Fifth is Marini. Sixth is Taddy. Seventh is Higgy. And eighth is RJ Smitty. That rounds out our top 8 so far, like I said, before this race going into the playoffs. He maintains a 27-point lead over the 9th place car of Sharp. So, and as you can see, Gator Mike and Piccolo Gator both had early exits out of this race, so it's going to kind of shake up, I believe, that top 8 a little bit.
I don't mean to interrupt, but as I was looking down, I heard screeching. We were on the leader, the 11. He came to pit road and he spun.
Oh.
He didn't miss pit road, but he spun coming to it and had to kind of, go back the other way. So Higgy Wicks lost a lot of time entering pit road here. We'll see where he ends up after these green flag pit stops finish. Lucy Goosey and Atlanta Brace Fan are now pitting as we're on with the number 2 car of Kelvin. He is either in the lead or close to it. Travis T-Sun also on pit road. Yeah. We're on board with Gator Beatty, Chase Beatty. I don't know that he pitched just yet.
I don't think Chase has yet. I don't know if he's going to try to stretch it and get as much time he can on these guys that are pitting. He might have a strategy going here a little bit, but yeah, I'm riding around with Beatty, Chase myself, and he's pretty much running all alone up there on the track. It looks like he's coming in now. Nope, he's not. He's not. Sorry.
Yeah, he's on the front straightaway. He's going to pass the 24 car, put him a lap down. I think the 47 who pit probably earlier, they might be racing for position. So I do believe that RJ Smitty was running somewhat in the solid positions of the top 10, 7th or so. So I want to say that Beatty's probably right around there when this thing all cycles through. But the 22, we see him just up ahead. He was a leader. We don't know if anything happened to him. He could be the leader. We'll see in a little bit here. I know the 19 is the leader of Long Live the Sauce, but he's on pit road. Looks like the 51.
The 2's coming off, so those 2 completed their pit stops. As Higgy goes around them as the number 19 and 2 come off the pit road and let that pack, led by number 11 Higgy and number 18 Marini, go by him as they enter the track.
The 22 of Draven is your leader. We're on board with Big Jim, who's in second. These guys did get separated. Higgy Wicks is not among them, but the 47, RJ Smitty, is in third. And I can only assume that he's on the lead lap, RJ Smitty. I don't know that he would have won a lap down. He did pit sooner, so he could have caught some time with these guys, had it went running around on fresh tires. You see the 51's kind of pulling away from him, but not much. The 47 is hanging tight, and that means if the 47's in fourth, Chase Beatty's probably in fifth, because that's where he was. You see that white and blue car kind of in the distance from the shot we're on here on my stream. Sharp, who was up the front, he is not anymore. He had some trouble with Aquatati. Aquatati is in seventh, so we'll see. We'll use him as a reference point here in a minute. There's Travis T-Sun in the 24. He's got himself near the top 5. If he's not racing the 14th, if he is racing the 14th for position, that is a battle for 4th. And the 24 is catching him, so we'll see if these two get side by side. Here he goes down the front straightaway. I think Chase knows he's on a little bit fresher tires and kind of gives him the room. He'll try and get in the line there. Drunkfest also will take the move on the 14. Also slightly fresher tires, and he'll get around. They might be a lap or two fresher. And Aquatati, who is in 7th, is just behind this group, and the 14 is also letting them go by. So I don't know if he's a lap down or if he's just not as fast as these guys and he's kind of being a gentleman to them. But that is presumably 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th right now. In fact, Chase has got to be in 7th because Aquatati is now in 6th on his stream, so that's a good frame of reference there. Robbie Racing, we don't know what position he is in, but it is not near the front, unfortunately, for him. It looks like the shot from Chase Beatty is the shot to have because he's going to see these leaders. The 22 is your yellow and red car way out in front there. Second place is Big Jim driving the number 51 Toyota. In 3rd place is R.J. Smitty. 4th place, Travis Deason. 5th place, Drunkfest 17. In the number 20, Aquatati, who led much of this race during the first 2 stages, is now in 6th place. And we are on board with that Blue Def number 14 Ford of Chase Beatty. So let's try and go through the rest of this field now that we know where we are. Chase Beatty, you see right there in the blue and white car just ahead of this. We are on board with the Derek Cope number 10 car of, the 34 car driven by Derek Cope 10. And, Higgy Wicks, after that spin on pit road, looks like this is where he has ended up. So that puts him 8th, and Derek Cope should be running 9th. As he gets into the wall. If you don't enter turn 1, especially as the tires, get older, it's you got to back it up or you're going to get right into the wall on the entry. I know from experience. Long Live the Sauce is 10th, it appears. If I have that right? 7th, 8th, 9th. 9th would be... Loosey Goosey here in the 48 as he's pulling up on the 34 car driven by Atlanta Brace fan. And behind Loosey Goosey is the 19 of Long Live the Sauce. You see right there in a patriotic scheme, that blue, red, and yellow Bass Pro Shop car. And that's your top 10. We'll try and get back to who's just behind Sauce.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Pager over to Sauce to catch up.
Yeah, it looks like Kelvin actually must have had some trouble getting on the pit road because he also lost a lot of time from where he was. We know Long Live the Sauce was actually a little further back, and Kelvin was with the leader. So the fact that they're running kind of close together, with Sauce having the advantage, tells you that Kelvin must have had some sort of trouble during that pit stop.
The thing I want to bring up too is these guys. Team-wise, Swap Motorsports is your point leader, and I believe Lawson the Sauce Motorsports is running in 2nd. So these guys are trying to narrow that or take that point lead. I'm not too sure exactly what the difference was, but like I said, going back to having a couple of your heavy hitters for Swap Motorsports having unfortunate issues here at the beginning of the race, that 19 and his team, they got to push hard to get up there and get as many points as they can.
After his earlier trouble, it's nice to see him come, staying steady, and it's got him back into the top 10. Now, if he can just get some of that draft, he might be able to pull up and get some more positions for his team. We are on board with Aquatati. We're not on board. We got the camera on him. He was had a pretty good battle with Chase Beatty going there for a little bit. The tires have probably evened out. If you pit a lap or two earlier, you're probably good now. We see up ahead, though. Try and get on that battle.
Yeah, so coming into this race, the Swamp Motorsports has a 39-point lead on Lawson Sauce Motorsports. So I don't think they're going to have a shot at taking them, but, these guys fight to the end. Like I said, Sauce is a fighter. He'll race these two right to the end. He'll get every point he can get that he'll squeeze out everything he can.
While you were talking, Travis's son made a move with a little help from the 20 at Drunkfest, and they both got around the 47 of RJ Smitty. And just as I gave him the compliment, the 24 got into the turn 3 wall, and now Drunkfest is going to get below him, and RJ Smitty may follow. But it's actually a pretty good move by the Liberty Chevrolet, driven by Travis's son, getting into turn number 1, and got that position from the 47 car. That's 3rd, 4th, and 5th right now. Aquatati running 6th with Chase Beatty in tow, is trying to catch this group. Travis T does go low, the block by Drunkfest, and that's only going to help the 1 and the 14 catch them. These guys should be trying, I don't know if they think they can't, but they should be trying to catch up Big Jim and the 22 at Draven, who are both running by themselves. This group could potentially run faster than both those 2 cars ahead of them. But they'd have to stop running side by side, and they don't look like they're willing to do that right now. Drunkfest bringing them way down, but Travis T not taking the bait. He's going to try and go low into turn number 1 as RJ Smitty's going to stay high. Will he get above the 24? He doesn't quite get to his fender, but gets to his bumper instead. The 24 car gets a little wiggly out of turn number 2. He's going to try and make a move to the 20 going into turn number 3. He goes way down low. Will he try to do the crossover? Not quite. Doesn't get there even close. And now the 47, who's in tow of the 20, may get around Travis' son as well. They get real close down the front straightaway, no longer in a draft. 2 wide, almost 3, as the 20 was able to pull ahead of this group. But the 47 does ultimately get around the 24 of Travis' son. That's RJ Smitty. Son to old guy who drives in the Xfinity series. He drives the 51 car in that series. And now the 20 at Drunkfest was able to pull a little bit ahead. RJ Smitty is still in the draft, but Travis' son, through all that battling, may have lost the draft to these two. We'll see if he can catch back up in a lap. But if he doesn't, they're just going to pull ahead and maybe themselves catch the 51 and the 22. Probably not, though.
Right, just going back a little bit what you said a little bit ago about RJ Smitty and his dad. They have a father and son be able to do some racing together. E-racing like we have. That's the only combination I know we have is Cobra having a couple guys that have a father-son thing. So eventually, it'd be cool to see these guys maybe run together in a race, and hopefully, maybe next year we can see that.
That would be something. It'd be interesting as heck. Right now, the 47, who's getting side-by-side with the 20, may allow the 24 to get back in that draft. But Aquatati and the 14 of Chase Beatty have caught them, or practically caught the 24. Chase Beatty has been a good little boy staying in that draft, the number 1 car, and they, because of that, were able to catch the 24 when he got in the battle with the first 2 cars you see ahead of him.
Yeah, they're working well together. They're staying together nose to tail, and they're making their ground. And like I said, they catch that 24 car, and then they get him to work with them. They can suck back up to this 47.
There it is again. We're on board with Long Live the Sauce in that patriotic number 19 car. He is trying to catch the draft of the 48 of Lucy Goosey, who's with Atlanta Braves 10 in the 34 car. I think if you're going to be a NASCAR, just a race car driver on your video game systems, if you're going to play Xbox, PlayStation, even iRacing, the name you choose should probably not have a number in it. Just saying. I'm, as one that has a number in his name, I am saying that.
Right.
I couldn't have just Brinkerhoff. It wasn't available. The 19 has caught the 48. We are still on board this entire lap around. We'll stay on board as maybe he makes a move. He's gonna have to draft back up after the turn number 2. Looks sound like he lifted a little bit. Gets into the turn 3 a little hard. Gets closer to the 48. Can he stay in tow? However, getting down the front straightaway, just between, by the way, you look up ahead from the 34 is the 11 of Higgy Wicks. He's trying to catch the 14 car and the 1 car. Get some more positions that he once had. 19, does he make a move here on the 48? We're going to go above here. We're going to try and get a little blimp cam of the 19 car and the 48. Well, they work together. They have been known to do that in the past, even though they are not teammates. 48 tries to make a move with the 34, but just has no momentum and can't do it. Now he goes real low. That looks familiar. Something I may have experienced a race ago. But he did that move the same as the 22 did a stage or 2 ago, and now the 34 just gets that momentum back, and the 48 is going to lose the momentum even to the 19. He tried to go high, now he goes low, and the 34 gets his position back. And the 19 takes all that real estate away. He took his momentum and went way down low. He's going to stay down low. Will he clear the 34 entering turn number 3? It looks like he does. And long live the sauce. That was another move. That was a textbook move of patience And perseverance pays off. Oh, but he gets tapped by the 48, and he got real loose out of turn 4. Now he's going to lose all that hard work. Tough break for the 19 because he really earned that position. And now these guys are probably losing more time, too.
Yeah, he gathered it up. I mean, he get back in line here. I mean,
he can make another move.
Unfortunate, yeah, but he didn't lose that group, so he's back in it. Sauces, he ain't done yet.
No, that is for sure. Drunk. Go ahead, buddy.
No, I'm just, like I said, I'm riding around. I got the camera loose yet on the 48 car, so I'll just kind of follow around with these guys. To see how this battle. I mean, it's a good, clean battle, I think.
Yeah, that's why we're on it. Yeah, it's a good battle.
Right.
But I think there's another battle brewing up front. We got the 14 car, who's actually now ahead of the 1 and the 11. Higgy Wicks has caught the group, and we kind of missed it. So we apologize if you saw it up ahead of the screen. Good for you. We see a battle in the back as we're watching these cars. Oh, the 34 is in the wall, and turn number 4. He is spinning. He may have got collected. Either we have a yellow flag. We do have a yellow flag, and it could not come at a better time as we were about to see green flag pit stops. I'm wrong. It's not a yellow flag. That's the race. We weren't watching the laps. So here's your winner. Draven is your winner. Number 51, Big Jim finished in second. Drunkfest 17 ends up in third. We had so many good battles in the middle of the field. We didn't even watch the leader at the end. RJ Smitty was fourth. Travis Sun ends up in fifth. Gator Beatty ends up in sixth. So good move there at the end from him. Higgy Wicks is seventh. Aquatati is eighth. Lucy Goosey ninth. And Long Live the Sauce ends up in 10th. So that was like a 2-lap to go move from Long Live the Sauce. That's why they were getting pretty racy there. But there's your top 10, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think we're going to bother with the interviews just because we're on 2 different channels. If you feel like you want to do it because you're on Cobra, I guess that's fine. But I wasn't going to.
Yeah, I mean, if we take a second to see if these guys do jump in.
Yeah, go ahead. You invite them in. I don't know if I have maybe Big Jim on my list. Yep. Okay, too bad we don't have the damn counter, so we could have tracked that a little better. Fastest lap goes to Draven, 30.626. So good for Draven. Fastest lap. And the win. Try and get them in here.
Yep. Yeah. So we should have Big Jim is in the chat. Who were the other two? My apologies.
Draven and Drunkfest.
Well, we know Drunkfest is in the group because he is. We interviewed him the last race. Draven, I'm looking for Draven.
Oh, there's Drunkfest.
Yeah, Drunkfest joined. You know, I don't have Draven.
Big Jim is here.
Big Jim or Drunkfest, any one of you two have Draven.
There he is.
We got all 3 in. We do have all 3 in. Perfect, perfect.
All right, so I'm not going to lie. We didn't watch much of the top 2 down the stretch because you guys were boring and by yourselves. But we had some excitement back in the pack. So we just basically the question I have for Drunkfest, we'll start with you. You're third. You were kind of mid-pack, coming up to the top 5. You were riding along with your teammates really well there for a while in stage number 1 and 2. But then things got a little racy. Just give us your point of view of, stage 3 and what happened after that.
I got caught up in some stuff and got damaged. My aero was like 93%, so I couldn't do anything. I had to stay in the draft wherever I could. And then just made a pit stop, had to work my way back up like that. Got to third somehow.
Took advantage of others' misfortune, it seemed, as a lot of people ended up in stage 3 kind of, racing a little hard, if you will.
And it's all I could do was wait. I mean, I was back to like 10th because I had damage just riding along and just worked my way back up.
Well, good job, man. Butters, you got anything for our pal Drunk Fest?
Yeah, I just want to congratulate him. I mean, good job on your finish. You know, it was a good race, exciting to watch. We had some battles throughout that whole race. But yeah, like I said, I just want to say congratulations again, man. That was awesome run.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Second place, it went to Big Jim. And Big Jim, you were one of the only cars that was actually up front all race. I'm trying to scroll and find your car. Here it is. The Matthew Heel ride. You were able to avoid a little bit of that trouble that occurred around you. You were even able to stay in tow for the most part until that green flag pit stops. Tell us how it went. I know in stage 1 and 2, it was kind of business as usual for you.
It went pretty well, I'd say. Second place out of that. Kansas is it's a draft track, so they're some of my least favorite on the game because all it is sitting in the draft and making moves at the right time. But no, we kept it out of trouble. I kind of ping-ponged off of people at times, and I feel really bad about that. I think I put Sharp in the wall a couple times because he got into the wall, came back down off turn 1, and I just threw him back into the wall. So it's kind of unavoidable contact, but at the same time, it's not what you want to do. And then there was that wreck behind us in stage 3 that really broke up the pack that involved Sharp, Kevin, Taddy, a whole bunch of really, really fast race cars tonight.
Yeah, we just happened to scroll through and we missed that. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that was kind of the breaking point of that race. It put it down to me, Higgy, and Draven, and me and Draven, man, we had ourselves a battle. It was kind of a reverse of what happened at Bristol. I was catching him on a long run and still couldn't make the move happen, and Draven was able to get it done.
Well, congrats to you, and go ahead, Butters.
Oh, I just want to, a big shout out again, Jim. Another strong run with that 51 car. I mean, you kind of a little bit of a, last race of the regular season here. Going forward into the playoffs, you were coming in second place there with behind Gator Mike, and looks like he started. I don't know exactly what happened there, but he dropped out of the race early, and now sets up with the playoffs coming here in 2 weeks after the All-Star break. How are you feeling about the whole playoff run coming?
Really, you probably hear me grinning through here, but I'm really excited because you got Martinsville as the first one. I really, really love that racetrack, so that's going to be a big hit on there. And we also, I think we won the regular season championship, so add those 10 points to our 29 points going into the playoffs. So even if we don't win Martinsville, we're looking in a good position. So I think I'm feeling pretty confident in being able to make it to Charlotte.
Yeah, I just, like I said, I just want to, you're an independent guy that runs, so you don't run. I'm sure you're in a group of guys when it comes to party chat when you're racing, but single car team. I mean, strong run. Kudos to you, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, I was in there with Gator Mike and Pete Cola, and Gator was giving Cola some instructions to wreck me, and he was going to do a 23 for him. I don't know what that is. I'm assuming it's something not family friendly. So. I was in there with those guys.
What would give you that idea?
That's a backstory that we could tell off the broadcast if you need to know about exactly what's all going on.
1/3 of a 69.
Oh, well, there you go.
You're talking about a 23 first. That's about probably what you heard.
That's what they called it. Yeah. Well, I'm glad I wasn't giving Cole that chance. I stay away from him for most of the night.
Exactly.
Well, good job, man, on another top 3, another podium finish for you here in the Cobra Kai Cup Series. And I'm sure we'll see a lot more of you down the stretch. And I'm sure you have a few fans out there that are not pulling for you. I've heard your streams, so good job.
Yeah, man. I appreciate that a lot, and heck of a job to Draven. I know he's looking for that first win, and going to come in a better place in Kansas. So congrats, Draven.
All right, thanks a lot, man. Draven, now we're on you. We'll scroll through this here and get your 22 car up on the screen. Your first win here in the Cobra Kai Cup Series, or your first win in Cobra Kai at all?
It's my first win in the Cup Series. I got my first truck win on Sunday, but tell you what, this feels excellent. Oh man, it's been
so you're
a
working
long time
2 for
coming.
2.
Yes, sir.
Good job.
Appreciate it. It's been a long time, man. Took over like a year and 4-month hiatus or something like that. And so this is my first official Cup win back since the long hiatus, and I'm just extremely pumped. It was a hard fight since we came back to Homestead in the Xfinity Series, so just absolutely thrilled. Thrilled.
It's been a pleasure to have you on the track, both viewing and as a competitor. And I just wanted to ask, you were one of those guys that when we were broadcasting, when we finally got on air, we were watching that yellow or red 22 car. It was hardly in line. It wanted to come out. We could see it trying to make moves down low. You get a little draft, and then you try to slingshot. But you were also able to gather it back up and stay in the lead draft a lot of the time. But were you learning lessons in the first two stages to gather you up for the final run?
It was a combination of learning how everyone kind of raced, because this is my first time with Cobra Kai, so it was essentially just spending time learning how these guys race this track and how they make their moves on top of getting the balance of the car right. I mean, we actually did quite a bit of adjustments on it tonight to get it dialed in to where we could make moves but still hold that lead back. So shout out to Anthony, he did a hell of a job tonight for pitch strategy and setup, so it really paid off tonight.
There's your tip, boys and girls. You want to get good at this stuff, get yourself a crew chief. Butters, what do you got for our winner here?
Hey, big shout out there, number 22. Way to put that Swamp Motorsports car up there in first place. I just, it's good to see. I talked about it in the broadcast. Everybody that follows Cobra racing, for Swamp. Unfortunate issues, but you know what? Mike's got to be pretty happy. You took the win. You represented the team. You gathered some more team points for those guys. Number 2 of Kelvin, he had a strong run card up front, but it's good to see the guys that can make up, make all the team together. And you started out this year at Xfinity, and you got signed up to the Cup race here. So keep her going, man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Shout out to Gator Mike. This one's for you there, boss man. And I want to shout out Jimmy. I love racing that kid. We always have some good racing together, so appreciate the room, buddy. I know I was shaking my fist at you when you tried to do that slide job on me and wasn't quite clear, but I remind you that you weren't clear. So I love you, buddy. I love racing you. Shout out to everyone in the league. And the 11 car and I were racing hard for the lead there. I wanted to bring that up too. We made contact. I don't know if I came up or he came down, but that's what kind of caused a mishap. And that wasn't intentional. I felt really bad about that. I even asked if that was me or him, but I was told not to worry about it, keep pushing. So I kept on digging, and I'm still working on that lag, guys. I got people who keep getting on the Wi-Fi, and I'll be bitching at them. So just shout out to everyone for having me. I appreciate it. It was fun. Great to get back in victory lane. It's been a long road, man. It was good.
Yeah, we think from the start there might have been a little bit of lag issue in the room, so I think you're good there. But go ahead, Butters.
Like I said, like I do every week, I just want to say thanks to all you guys that do come out and race the league. Very much appreciated. You guys put on a great show week in and week out. And like I said, big shout out to you top 3 and all the drivers here at Cobra. These guys are one group, one talented group, and no complaints at all, man. All I got.
All right. Well, yeah. Congrats to our top 3. Congrats to everybody who came out. Thanks to everybody who came out watching, racing. Everybody. It's a mad world out there. So it's still nice that we can get together and have some fun together. A bunch of people who come from different backgrounds, different points of view, and just agree on one thing. We all want to go racing. So this is the best way we know how, and we hope that you enjoy watching it. And for Butters, I'm Brickerhoff17. You can check us out on PlayStation 4, YouTube, and Cobra Kai Racing, Aquatati, GC Sports. It's all there. We have a great community. It's growing every day. And thanks, Butters. Thanks for putting it together.
Hey, thanks for all your hard work you do. And everybody enjoy your weekend. Have a good night. And peace out.
You can catch it. We may have the truck race on Sunday night. Everybody have a good time. God bless and drive fast.